I haven't posted links though yet. Oh, I'm gonna sign in. I'm gonna post your. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to get your link here as well. I'm going to pin it in the comments here. Okay. Okay. All right. Rav, you good over there?
I'm good. Can you see my camera moving? Because I feel like it's not.
I haven't checked yet. Let me see. It looks good to. Oh, it does look stuck to me.
It looks good to you.
It looks stuck to me as well. I hear you though. I hear you loud and clear. All right. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Friday.
Welcome in, guys. Good morning.
Happy Friday. It looks good to me on my end. Everything on my end looks pretty good to me. The only
My
thing.
end it looks good, but I don't know why the camera's stuck. We're going through the same issue on the street as well. Maybe figure it out after.
Let me see. Rav's mic isn't on. Can you guys hear Rav? Can everybody hear? Can everybody hear Rav?
We will mic testing, but yes, if you can.
No. So you were saying no.
Forget about the camera, guys. Can you hear my voice?
Oh no. Yeah, this is the problem. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties, but I want to make sure that
We're using the new software, guys. So,
it's very distant. It sounds really low.
it's not very distant. Okay. How about now? Can you guys hear me? I'm literally like talking into the mic here. Right, I did hear some echo on. Are you like the YouTube? Are you?
No, I'm not.
Have the audio on?
Oh, you know what? Maybe.
I think you have your speakers on or something. Just mute your YouTube channel.
Okay.
Put the volume down. I think there's an echo there. Can you guys hear me now?
It sounds like you're miles away. Oh no.
Alright, you just start doing that. We'll figure it out.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, first of all, welcome in. We are working through everything here, so you guys are probably gonna notice we are having some technical issues. But as long as you can see our charts, that's really all that matters. We will get this sorted as we go on. We're using a new software, Streamlabs. So trust me, this is the right software. We're just not good with this stuff. But as time goes on, we'll get it sorted. Anyway, today's session big. We have some important stuff to talk about in the market. We are going to go over a lot of different things. We're first going to talk about our econ data. We'll talk about what's going on in this session today ahead of us. not only for today's session, but also for the week ahead of us. So we'll talk about today's session. I hear an echo on my end. I hear an echo on my end. I feel like I hear something. Rav, I think I hear your audio. Did you do something on your end? Oh, good now. So we'll talk about the econ data. We'll go over what's going on here in Friday's session. We have big employment data coming out about 4 minutes ago. We're also going to talk about factory orders at 10 o'clock. We'll go into next week. We'll talk about what's going on next week. We'll discuss what is on the docket for our week ahead of us, which you guys are probably aware of. It is major FOMC news. So big stuff ahead of us, big stuff going into our week, and we're going to dive into everything today. So what we're going to do on our docket for today's session, we're going to talk about SPY's chart. We'll go over everything that's going on here in SPY. We'll talk about the major supply above us, 565. We're going to talk about the demand below, 555. We're going to go over the Q's chart. We'll talk about QQQ. We'll go over that major 485 resistance. The same level from yesterday's session is still applicable today. We'll go over ES. We'll talk about the ES level. ES levels are very simple, right? We have a major demand below 5580. We have a supply above 5700. And we're going to dive into all these charts. We'll go over AMD. We'll talk about AMD yesterday. AMD was a solid cash flow yesterday, but reality was it really was slow, right? The first bounce was really nice, but the secondary bounce was a bit slow, and you're going to see kind of the reactions it had to that 98 level that we spoke about in the pre-market session. We'll go over NVDA. We'll talk about NVDA, what we can do with NVIDIA today. NVIDIA is actually gapping up, but the levels are actually the same as it was yesterday. 115 level supply, 110 demand. We'll go over Apple. We'll go over Tesla. We'll go over Netflix, and we're going to go over Microsoft and Meta. So that is what we have on the docket for today's session. I know, guys, trust me, we know that there are still probably some issues with the stream, some audio issues, and some other things, but we will get them sorted. If you guys can, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Rav's YouTube channel is in the pinned comment. He also streams every Wednesday, either Wednesday or Thursday. Give him a subscribe to his channel. We are going to get this sorted at some point, so we're actually doing collab streams at high quality. For now, though, obviously, we just have to deal with it, but we'll get it sorted as we move on. So, Tuesday, yeah, not Wednesday, Tuesday. I want to make sure, is Rav here now? Rav, are you here now? Fancy, thank you very much, Fancy. That is very kind of you. That is very nice. Fancy, that is awesome. Rav, are you here? I don't know if Rav is here. It might just be me, guys. It might just be me. It might just be me today. That's okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move on. We're just gonna go as if he's there. I think he might be having some technical issues. But someone said Rav bounced. Rav is trading for the day. Get Rav back. All right, let's move on, guys. So let's talk about it. So on the economic data side, let's go to econ data, and then we'll go back into our charts. So today's session, it's all about this 8:30 a.m. data, right? Right in front of us, 8:30 a.m. data. This is what we have to focus on today. The data has already been out. The numbers are released. The numbers, as I see it right now, are this. 0.2% versus 0.3% average hourly earnings. Participation rate pretty much on target. U.S. non-farm payrolls also a little bit elevated, 167K versus 124K. And overall unemployment rate, this is the biggest number of today's session. The unemployment rate for the U.S. is 4.2 versus 4.2 estimate. So pretty much everything is on target going into today's session in the data. Now, besides that, we have factory orders at 10 o'clock, and that's all we have for today's session here on the earnings side, or the economic side. On going into next week's session is super important. The reason why next week is so important is because next week is all about FOMC. We have FOMC minutes, we have the FOMC meeting and the Fed chair press conference May 7. And this is going to be one of the biggest FOMC meetings because there are some traders pricing in a price cut. There are others saying no price cut. This is one of the only Fed meetings where the market actually doesn't really have a strong read to what the market's going to do, what the Fed's going to do. So big meeting on the 7th of May, and we have to be aware of that going into our session ahead of us. In terms of charts, now we're not going to spend the rest of our time on charts. I think Rav will be back, but I'm not sure if he will. He might actually have some issues, so it's okay. We're just going to move on as if he's here. Okay. So on the SPY chart, Yesterday's session, we just respected the channel high and the channel low, right? So what we saw yesterday was we saw us trend higher in the morning session, right? On Thursday, May 1st. We pushed higher into 564, 565 supply, and we got aggressively faded off that level multiple times. But the issue with yesterday's session was, if you guys remember what we said in the pre-market, was if you wanted to go long yesterday, what you were looking for longs was going to be either a break and hold above 560 for long side plays, or you would look for a pullback long here 558 or a pullback long here 555. Now, yesterday's session with respect to SPY was really not good price action because it didn't really give us any of those deeper pullbacks. And if you guys saw, after Apple reported earnings and after all those other big names reported, Apple and Amazon reported earnings, you saw actual downside come in the market, but we respected a big demand zone here at 555. And it's funny that this 555 bounce came in almost exactly into close, literally right into the after hour session. So obviously nobody's trading this bounce at that time. But it's funny to see how the market does these things. 555 demand held yesterday into our after hour session. And now we are gapping up in the market after holding demand and pushing right back into supply zone. So yesterday's session nothing's really different going into today's session, right? We still have the same supply above us, 564, 565. And if you want to look for upside today, it's going to be as simple as this. It's going to be this. If you want to see upside today, we need to break above this 565 level, 564 level. If we can break above this level here, right in front of us, the double top highs, we should move higher back into 570, which is our next big level of resistance. So today's session is all about the supply above us. Do we clear the supply? Yes, it's between 564 to 565 and change. If we can see a nice little break and retest above supply today, this is probably one of your best long entries today. A break and hold above 565 for calls is a long-based entry for a move back into 570. That's play number one. Play number two is going to be if we just reject here. If we just reject after double topping of the supply here, then we could go down lower, right? And that's where we would expect to happen. That's probably what I would expect today, more so than anything, is just us to stay within the channel. If we fail back under 565 today, look for us to move back into 555 demand. And again, that's a long spot today. So if you're trading SPY, you're doing this. You're looking for longs above resistance into 570, or you're hands off looking to see if the market fails supply here, which we already are pre-market, and we move back lower to today's session, back into demand here, 585, and you're looking for longs back here at 555, or you're looking for longs here, 550, which is another secondary long spot. So technically, our long spot from yesterday already got tested in the after-hour session on Thursday, but it's still valid for today's session. So if you are trading this morning, you're looking to see, hey, are we pulling back to demand here, 555? If not, then hands off, right? Because what you would expect is some sort of grindy zombie grind price action above the 565 into 570. And if you go to ES's chart, it's very simple on ES. On the ES chart, it all comes back down to 55.80, right? I'm just laughing at the stream right now. I feel I don't know if Rab is here or not, but it's just funny. I just keep in the back of my head. I keep thinking about that. But hopefully you guys can see me, and you can see my charts. Just to confirm, can you guys hear me and see my charts? If that's working, at least we're okay. Can you guys hear me? Can you see me? Can you see my charts? Yes. Okay, good. We're good. Okay. So on the ES chart, the level of supply we have to talk about is 5,700, right? The same level on ES, or in SPY's chart, is 565 SPY, okay? This 565 level on SPY is the big technical level, right? If today's session, we just do this today, if you see a little bit of an exciting pop in at 5,700, do not go long there today, right? The only long spot on SPY or on ES's chart is going to be some sort of deeper pullback in the market, back into demand here at 55.78, 55.80, or it's going to be a break and hold above this level here, right? Those are your long opportunities today. It's not going to be, let's go in today's session like a rhino, right? And just rhino calls right into 5,700, because again, what could potentially happen is you might see some knee-jerk selling off this level and you could see supply fail us back down lower. Do not long back into 5,700 ES. In fact, if you're looking for shorts today, this is probably where you're doing it. You could look for maybe a failure of this level for shorts and a move back lower. So if you're watching for trades today, you're basing it off this 565 SPY, you're basing it off 5,700 ES, and you're looking to see, can we break above it? If so, long side. If we break and fail below it, that's your short side play. everything we do today's session on Friday, May 2nd, is going to be how we respond to 5700 ES. If we are above it, we're bullish. If we're below it, we are technically bearish and looking for moves lower. Very simple chart here in the ES. Again, demand below and supply above. Let's move on. Let's go over QQQ. On the Qs chart, on the QQQ chart, it all comes back down to 485. 45 on the Qs is your big technical level. Again, just like the SPY chart, just like the ES chart, you can see right in front of us. Go to the 1 hour time frame so you can get an idea of what we're talking about here, right? You can see the major series of highs, the lows back in November. The same level we spoke about yesterday's session is applicable today. Can we break and hold above 45? Yesterday, if you kind of look at it, you can see that this was actually one of the best shorts yesterday. So this is still resistance. I don't know if it's going to be a big short spot today because, again, the market is strong after some earnings. But you saw that this became an area of failure points, right? You saw us break and hold above 45, then we failed below it, and then we sort of trended lower multiple times after that into our close, right? So I would say today's session, again, is about the same level. It's 485. If we can break above 45, look for longs back into 490, 491. If we fail below 45, I think we should be hesitant we're not hesitant, cautious of taking long side trades because we likely move back lower, back into 475, which would be our technical level below. So if you're trading the session today, you're looking to see, hey, are we holding above 45? If we are, long side trades. If we lose 45, look for shorts back into 475, back into our demand below. Okay, pretty simple chart here on the Qs. The one thing I do want to say though is if we do break and hold above 45, which we are technically right now doing, if we do break above 45 and maintain above 45, this is where we go to 491. Okay, 491 is the daily 200 SMA. 491 and 492 is the daily 200 SMA. It's also that major 4-hour level. Again, 492, very important pivot. Keep an eye on that going into today's session. Okay, above 45, room to 492, 491, but absolutely do not be long here because this, again, is going to be a potential rejection spot that you have to see us break and hold above for long side plays. Okay, that is what we have in the Qs chart. That's what we have in ES. That's what we have in SPY. I want to move on to our actual tickers today. Let's talk about our first ticker of the day, of the session. Let's go over Tesla. So on the Tesla chart, we have the same levels as yesterday, right? But the argument here is we are actually building quite nicely. And if you guys see this chart here on Tesla, you're going to see we have a really nice bull flag, right? A beautiful bull flag consolidation above 270, above 280. And this could actually be a nice long side chart if we can break above 290. This is one of the only charts to me that has a really nice consolidation. And if we do break and hold above 290, you can see we have some upside potential back in 300. So my main focus today on Tesla is going to be either this: long side trades above 290. If we can break above 290, look for a traditional break and retest above these swing highs, for a long side play back in 300. If that happens, that's your top watch today for longs. Okay. If this stock just completely fails and drops down lower, look for shorts back under 270 for a move back in 260. So all you're doing simply is respecting our channel low, respecting our channel high. I think the top watch for me though in Tesla is going to be a break and hold above that 290 because again, that would be a nice long opportunity going into our session ahead of us. Okay, so let's move on, guys. Let's go over our next ticker. I want to do a RAV check. Is RAV here? RAV check. Is RAV here? Can you hear me? I think that's a no. I think it's a no for RAV. But that's okay, guys. That's all right. We will at some point get this fixed. We will get it sorted. We'll get this rocking. We are obviously all over the place with technical issues, but that's okay. All that matters is charts. So let's move on. Let's go over NVDA. On the NVIDIA chart, NVIDIA, this is something I was a little mad about yesterday, was we spoke about two levels yesterday. We spoke about the 112. 112 demand yesterday was really nice. That was the demand we had. If you guys remember, that was not only our level, but it was also a fib retracement. So a fib retracement was like, it was between 112 and 111. And that's where we found support yesterday, between 112 and 111. Today's session, if you're trading today's session, my main focus is going to be this. No bounces on this chart anymore. I don't want to see this pull back anymore. If the video is going to go, it just has to go, right? Too much consolidation. And this is important. after a certain period of time, you don't want to take these bounces anymore. The bounces no longer become good. The bounces were good yesterday, 112, 111, and even 110 were solid bounce opportunities yesterday in NVIDIA. But if you're going to look for longs now, you want to see it break above 115. If it can clear above 115, that's your new long opportunity. It has to clear out these highs and these highs and these highs. And what that's going to do for us is it's going to give us a new level to trade off of. A break and hold above 115, and when we're above it, we can even look for longs off 115 for an upside play. So watch 115. If we pull back to 110 today, I know it's still demand below. But I don't want to go long there again. The long was yesterday here at 110. The long was yesterday here at 112. It's no longer the case now. Here, it must break and hold above 115. If it can, look for long side plays back into the 120s and upside continuation. Okay, so that's what I'm looking to see here on the NVIDIA chart. And let's move on now to AMD. On AMD, I'm actually just going to just get rid of this for a second. I want to make it so. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just dealing with something over here with my face cam. I want to make it so we are not doing any of this. Okay, we are all over the place. There we are. Okay, we're good. We were black screen for a second. But we're back. And I want to just hide this because we don't need myself right now. It's just going in and out. I'll just go over charts. So on the AMD chart, what you're going to do today in AMD is you're going to watch to see if we can break above and maintain above 98 today. So yesterday's session, what we did yesterday, what we spoke about in the pre-market was this. We said we had demand below between 98 and 97. One of the best long opportunities yesterday was actually that 98 level, right? The opening bell bounce came in perfectly, almost perfectly here at 98. You can see we sold off right into 98, and this was the long opportunity yesterday. Where I went long actually wasn't here. I should have went long there, but I missed it. I went long on this opportunity here at 98.4. I got a little upside play back into 100. That was my day yesterday here in AMD. Today's session is still about this 98 level, right? What's actionable yesterday is still actionable today. What we must do today here in AMD is this. If we can see us strongly maintain above 98 today, which we are in the pre-market session, I am looking to see if we can maintain above 98, and if we do, we can look for long side plays back into 100. That's what I'm watching today here on the AMD chart. Okay, above 98, we can look for longs back into 100. So if we can see us set a strong maintain above this level today, look for an opening bell trade here off 98. Pretty simple. Here's the issue though. If this chart does lose 97. Here's the thing, right? If this chart does lose 97, maybe look for this under 96. This is your short trigger, right? So if you see us lose under 96, under our after hours low yesterday, under 96, I don't see any buying until 94, right? So under 96, there's no buying back into 94. So if you're going to trade here on AMD today, you're just going to look to see if we can maintain above 98, long side play back to 100, or you're looking for a break and fail under 96 for puts back into 94. That's what I do here in AMD. Downside plays here, upside plays here. And right now, obviously, the sentiment is more sided towards bulls. Okay, let's move on. Let's go over the SMH. The SMH is actually approaching such a major level. And if you guys remember, day in and day out, what did we say about the SMH? We spoke explicitly about what level? We spoke about the major 205 level of demand. This was the level, right? The trend break, the series of highs, and the low formed over here at 205. This is the big level of technical demand. If we can hold 205, which we did, and we showed us multiple times of us doing that, upside was going to happen. And that's what we spoke about here in the SMH. That's what you're seeing sort of manifest now. Now the question becomes, where does the SMH go going forward? Because SMH is the most important ETF for our chips. What we must see going forward is we must see the SMH break above 218, right? 218 is the next big level of supply. If the SMH can break above 218, 218, 218, 218, 218, we should see it move back into the upper 240s. That's my expectations here. Obviously, there is a little bit of a level here at this 233, which I should add. You can see it's important, right? 234, 233, important level. So you should see us break and see this happen, right? And that's what you'd want to see now in the SMH, right? You want to see us push back into these series of lows here, back into 233, 234. That's what I'm watching today in the SMH. Obviously, SMH, not something I'm trading, but something I'm watching to see because, again, it's going to impact how our chips move. AVGO. insane day yesterday in AVGO, and the reason why is because AVGO is holding above our big level here at 186.50, 186.5. Now we're watching what level in AVGO. Remember we said it yesterday too. Watch to see if AVGO can maintain above this 200 level now, right? If AVGO can maintain above 200, arguably you can say it's this whole zone here between 200 and this 197, 198, really 198. Look to see if AVGO can maintain above this green band here. If it can maintain above this green band, that's your long side trade. Simple as that now. I don't want to be long AVGO at the 186.5 anymore, right? The long opportunity is going to be somewhere here. Look to see if it can maintain 198 to 200. If it can, upside back to 212. If we fail back below 198, look for downside back to 186.5. Pretty simple chart here in AVGO. Looks more so long-sided to me as long as we're above this level though. Obviously you're seeing us maintain above it. And if we can turn these levels, these series of highs into support, right? Into support, that's your long opportunity for a play back at 212, right? That to me is a nice long spot chart today on the AVGO chart, and you should keep an eye at this level, okay? Let's move on, guys. Let's go over our post-earnings plays. Let's go over Amazon. Amazon chart. Crazy report, right? So you saw, I mean, I don't even know the numbers, but I just know the reaction to the support is actually perfectly technical, right? You can see here, we sold off very aggressively, but where did we sell off into? We sold off right into our 180 demand here on Amazon's chart. This move yesterday was by no means bearish. Even though we saw a $10 drop on Amazon, by no means could you even call this move bearish. And I know you're probably wondering, you're crazy for saying that. Yes, I know, I see it. But as long as Amazon was above 180, it's still holding support. This is still support. This is still support. Amazon's chart is still bullish as long as we're above 180. That was our big bounce area from Wednesday, a big bounce area from Tuesday. And hey, bounced off of it again post-earnings. Today's session, we're above 190. If you're going to be trading Amazon today, it's got to be on some sort of continuation play as long as we're holding 190. Look to see if we can turn our previous day high here between 192 to 190 into support now. On the 5-minute time frame, what are you seeing? You're seeing us begin to maintain above it, right? Begin to maintain above this level. And this could be right in front of us all along. Right here, 192, 190. I know it's a bit of a zone here, but if you're going to go long on Amazon post-earnings, it's got to be in some sort of play that turns our previous day high, Thursday's highs, pre-market highs, and the highs right before our earnings into support now. If we do this, that's your long opportunity. If we're above 192, 190, look for longs here, upside play back at 200, back into our daily 200 SMA. That's a good long spot play. If we do this and fail back below under 190, obviously this is no long play, and we likely just fail back lower to 180. So if you're going to trade Amazon, you're simply doing this. You are longing it above 192. That's it, right? Above 192, if it's there, you are long side, right? If we fail back below 190, you are short side. Let's make it simple. Let's not overcomplicate things here, right? Post earnings levels are very important. If we are above the post earnings level, right? That's all that matters. The pre-earnings level. If we're above the pre-earnings level, we are bullish. Back into 200. If you see this happen today, if you see us rip higher into the daily 200 SMA, and you're wondering, wow, Amazon's really strong today. Maybe I should buy calls. Do not do that, right? Take that idea and throw it out the nearest window. Because again, if Amazon just trends higher today, back into the daily 200 SMA, back into supply here, this is an area right in front of us, that you, and wait for this is going to be crazy. Ready for this? Do not want to be long into. Crazy. Why is it crazy? The reason why this is a crazy level is because it is what? Zoom out for a second. 1 hour time frame. Look how important this 200 level is. If there's been any important level here in Amazon, it's 200. It's the daily 200 SMA, and it's also the major series of highs. The major downside move from April 1st into April 2nd, colossal downside play. Today's session, we are bullish right now, obviously above our pre-earnings highs, above 192. But if the chart does this today and trends higher into 200, this is an area you do not want to be long into. Because again, this could be an area we see some rejections off of. Even if we break above it, I don't want to be long until I see this, a break and hold above 200. That's what I look for above that 200 level. And again, obviously the long spot is going to be here today if we do break and hold above 192, right? Let's move on. Apple. Apple chart. Apple post earnings as well. Apple post earnings as well. Apple doing a little bit of nothing though, right? Apple doing a little bit of nothing. It's a little bit weak in the pre-market. My important pivot here is right in front of us though. It's 207.50. Okay, if we're below 207.50, we're bearish. If we're above 207.50, we're bullish. Right now, you are doing something quite interesting across the board on the market. You can see some big technical holds coming in, but on the Apple chart rather, we're actually holding below our Wednesday's lows here, right? You see the Wednesday's lows prior to our earnings. We sort of moved higher off that level. You see our Monday's lows, right? You see this is really important here, Wednesday, April 23rd lows here, right, at 207.5. This level right now is turning into resistance in the pre-market session. Your mindset on Apple should be this. If we are under 207.50, there is no reason to go long here. In fact, this is your short trigger for a downside play, right? Under 207.5. If you somehow get above this level here at 207.50, even then, I don't really want to go long until it breaks above 110. So in my opinion, the area over here is the dead zone. This is the dead zone. The dead zone between 207.5 and 210. If we can break above 207.5, you may see some potential back into 210, but this is not an area I want to get involved in. The reason why is because it's a channel, it's a consolidation. You may see some choppy movements here. It probably does zombie grind back into 210. It probably does do that, but I don't think this is going to be a real tradable, fun, crazy upside move. I think if you're looking for a nice upside play, it's going to be above 210. That's where things get exciting. The excitement move occurs, and you can look for a play back into 115, back into these pre-earnings highs. Okay, so again, if you're trading Apple today, you're looking for long side plays above 210 into 215, or you're looking for a short side play, which probably should be your main focus if you are under 207.50, for a downside play back into our pre-market lows. That could be a solid trade today. Keep it on the back burner. Obviously, guys, these are post-earnings setups. A lot can change post-earnings. Just keep that in mind going into today's session, okay? A key example of this was actually Meta, right? Look at what Meta did yesterday, right? I mean, Meta post-earnings from Wednesday into Thursday's session became one of the weakest names, right? It was actually the strongest name off the gate. Obviously, it was the strongest name pushing into 600. We knew not to long back in the 600, 596 level. This is obviously big supply. But we failed right below our demand zone under 580. We chopped around 580 all day. I mean, in my opinion, this is an ugly chart. This, by all means, is an ugly chart. Reason why it's ugly, it was a demand at first. Probably got some longs off demand here. 580 was a good level. We failed back below demand. It actually was a short trigger under 580. And then it turned into a long trigger, right? And then it turned into a short trigger. What the hell is going on here in Meta? This is a chart where there is some clear choppiness, right? Clear choppiness around 580. Though, regardless, it's still the sentiment is still defined by 580. So even though it's choppy around 580, you can see that the chart did give some ideas here, right? You can see shorts there, you can see longs here, you can see longs there, you can see shorts there, right? The idea still is simply 580. And going into our session today, it's nothing different. Even look at the pre-market session. Look at the pre-market session this morning. Is it any coincidence that the pre-market high was 580 until the jobless data came out at 8:30 a.m.? No, it's not, right? This is still a breakout level for today's session. If you're trading Meta today, your main focus should be looking for this. Can we pull back to 580 for alongside trades? That's what you're watching. If you pull back to 580 for alongside trades, that's what you're doing. You're looking for longs here at 580. If you fail below 580, I am wrong. I'm an idiot, and we go back lower, back into our next demand below. Okay, so that's it. Everything comes back into 580 today. On the upside, if you're watching for upside today on Meta, you're watching to see if it can break above what level. If it can break above 590, really 595, right? 595 is your level. And I would even argue, to be honest with you, right, it's not even just 595, because you see this 595 supply obviously from our Thursday's highs, but then you look back at the price action previously, you just zoom in over here for a second and see what's going on. It's not just 595, 594. It's all the way to the top of this band here, 596. This is an area you want to have some interest in, right? If we can break above this 595 level, 594, 595, then things become interesting, right? So if you're looking for alongside trades today, you're doing this. You're looking to see, one, can we pull back to 580 and set up a long there? That's a long side trade. Or two, can we break and hold above 595 for upside back into 610, right? That's what you're watching here on the Meta chart. Guys, let's move on. Let's go over the tickers you guys are talking about. Let's go over everything. Where's Fancy? Where's Fancy? I know Fancy's here somewhere. Where's Fancy? I want to. What is she? What chart is she going over now? Was she looking at Netflix today? I think I saw her talking about Netflix. PLTR. Let's go to PLTR. PLTR. On the PLTR chart. PLTR. I mean, what are you gonna do, right? What are we gonna do? Supply above us 125, right? There is no. Here's the thing, right? I have no interest in trading 117, so I'm removing it from my chart. The only levels I'd be focused on now is what 125 all-time highs, 110 long spot, 104 long spot. That's it. That's all I'm watching for. Netflix. You said Netflix. Let's go over Netflix. NFLX. Netflix chart. All-time highs here, 1065. That's it, right? That's it. Our main focus should be this. At some point in time, Netflix will do this. It's going to surprise us. We're not going to be looking at Netflix anymore. We'll be trading Amazon or something. And then all of a sudden, while we're trading Amazon, Netflix is going to come out of the woodworks, and it's going to be doing this. It's going to be pulling back to a 1065 level, and it's going to set up probably the most epic longs here off demand. If you're watching this, set alerts here at 1065. Look for long side trades here. That's it. That's the only thing I'd watch here. Back in all-time highs. That's your traditional break and retest of all-time highs. It's going to happen at some point in time. Okay? That's all I'm focusing on here. Okay? Obviously, all-time highs is 1141, 1143. That's what the market. That's where we are right now. Netflix is pushing a new all-time high as we're speaking right now. Okay? Let's move on. XYZ. XYZ Square. Square. Is it Square? Black? This used to be SQ, right? This used to be SQ. XYZ. XYZ reported bad earnings. I mean, anytime I see something like this, like a crazy dead move, I want to look at a larger time frame and just look at this for a second. I mean, just look at what's going on here. I think this probably goes back into 41. That's where you can expect us to go back into, right? Our demand below. That's our weekly level. So expect some sort of reaction to be here at 41.40. If you're looking for longs, if you're looking for a long-term position, this is where you're doing it, right? SQ level of demand is here at 41.42. 41 to 40. Last ticker of the day, guys. Last ticker. Let's go over one more ticker. JPM. 250. I mean, this is your level, right? It's 250 on JPM. To me, this is, I mean, a little bit of an exciting move in the pre-market on banks. If you can set up a trade here off 250, that's your trade today, guys. Look, I know we had some difficulties with our technical stuff today, but we'll get it sorted. Trust me, this was a flop of a collab stream, but it's going to happen sometimes. If you guys can, subscribe to Rav's channel. Rav is streaming every Tuesday. I think he's also talking about maybe doing something on the weekends as well. You guys should get him to do that because it'd be good for you guys. Guys, thank you all for joining in, and I'll see you all for live trading. Bye, guys.